Speak with integrity. Your first self, the power of I am. How comfortable would it be for you, especially ladies, to go look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that I love you and that you're good enough? How comfortable would that be? How comfortable would you be? You feel awkward just thinking about it? Mel Robbins did a study, and I forget what the number was, but how many women won't even look at themselves in the mirror? Their eyes. They'll look at everything that's wrong with them, but they won't look at their eyes and say, you are good enough, you're worthy, you're a great mom, you're a great wife, you're a great team player, you're a great this. What they do is they talk about all the things they're not. That's why the power of I am is so important, is that you have to speak with integrity inside yourself first. And if we don't speak with integrity with I am, is we tend to say I'm what? I'm fat, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that. And what we do is when we use the power of I am, we use that as something that we create ownership with, and now we own whatever comes after the words I am. So I'm working with a doctor up in Boston, and he said, I'm pessimistic. I said, are you? He said, I am. I said, okay, well, last week you said that, because he had a brand new baby, he said, I'm a father. I said, so you just use I'm a father, I am a father, and I am pessimistic. I said, do you want to take ownership over both those things in the same way? He said, I never thought about it like that. Because of whatever you repeat that you are is true. I had a friend tell me once, she said, I'm not a runner. And I met her 6 years ago. Her name is Alyssa. She says, I'm not a runner. I said, I know. And this is right when I first met her. She goes, what do you mean you know that I'm not a runner? I said, because you just told me you weren't. She's like, I don't understand. Well, I believe whatever you tell me you believe about yourself. I said, so why can't you run? Well, I was a 3-sport athlete in college and went to a small Christian college, so I did these things and my knees are bad. I said, that's okay. Well, I wanted to get to know Alyssa. I invited her over to the house. I'm like, hey, let's go on a walk. So we went on a walk. I said, hey, could we just bounce to the next driveway? Just bounce. She's like, what's bouncing? I said, well, it's not really running. It's more like just like a fast kind of walk, jog thing. She's like, okay. So she bounced one driveway. Remember, she's not a runner. She said, I'm not a runner. I said, okay. So she comes over again next week because I do coaching conversations with her while we're being active. And I said, okay, so as we're walking, I said, do you think we could bounce like this, like every other house for a block? She's like, yeah, we could do that. Why? Because she did it once before. She did one house.